Hey guys, this is Circle here, and yeah, we are back for the National Dex Battle League Season 4. We did one last time and it was super fun, and I wanted to see if we can do another one again. So, we have some new faces this time. I have Chickadee, Fatty, and Robo in call with me. Just say hi.
Hey,
Hello.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be like a more of a discussion on the teams, like the good points, maybe what they could have improved on, and I'll just give a score rather than just like put them in a rank basically. So I guess yeah, let's. I think that's it really. I really want to. I'm excited. I just want to jump in. So they're all in pick order basically. So let's begin. First one we have Chickadee, and he got first overall pick because he came. He won the losers bracket. So the people who could not make playoffs, basically the winner was guaranteed first pick overall. So he got Megalopony. Yeah, I have him with me in call, so if he can just talk about stuff, that would be ideal. That would be great.
I honestly just wanted to use Lopunny last time I used it. No cut moves, so no return. Since I was doing that decks, cut moves are allowed, so I can just spam return freely.
Yeah. I mean, return plus close combat is so difficult to wall. Like even like your ghost types are pretty much useless because of scrappies. Because like let's say you send in a Jellicent and you see it's like taken 50% from close combat, like absolutely ridiculous mon, and then it gets U-turn, gets triple axle, and it gets like a bunch of different coverage. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So
and then I picked up Hydreigon Gengar because Lopunny mainly struggles against I guess bulky fairies and bulky psychics.
mhm.
So Gengar and Hydreigon kind of just helps with both of those.
Yeah, like
it's
well,
an immensely scary special offense next to Megalopony.
oh yeah.
Plus,
Yeah,
Also, really good speed tier progression as well. You go from like 136 to 110 to 98. So the speed tier progression is really nice there, and it gets I think even better with Ribombi and Lycan Rock as well because Ribombi can like give you webs, which is like huge for let's say if you want to run like a nasty plot Hydreigon or Gengar, like something like that is really scary.
yeah.
Um,
It allows for Specs Gengar just to put in work.
yeah, oh, Specs Gengar is so fun. One of my favorite Gengar sets.
I
Um,
imagine for your team, people are going to run boots less so for the rocks, but more so for the webs and that offense.
I mean, they might
Yeah.
as
Because
well
that's
run it for the rocks. He has five rockers.
that too, but the webs as well. Putting it on your when you're a faster mon, so you can at least don't get absolutely bombed when webs are up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that
Oh god, sorry. Yeah, you can go on. You were speaking, Robo. Hello.
oh sorry.
Hey,
Yeah.
are you gonna say
I forgot what I
something?
was gonna say, but oh
Ah.
yeah. The webs could be a really big issue here because it's like a bunch of fast. There's a bunch of fast offensive pressure. So
Mm-hmm.
if you can't outspeed that, you could just end up in a very bad spot.
Yeah, for sure. Um, it doesn't even end there. Basically, you have Necrozma, which it gets like a million different ways to set up. So like let's say you run
Yeah,
like I think it gets swords dance, right? If I remember correctly, or
not
or
sure. I'll check
At
real
least
quick.
it's Dredge Dance, but Sword Dance I'm not sure about.
I think it gets because I remember Duskmane gets it.
It does, yeah.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know it gets sword stand. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it gets. I know it gets swords dance. So if you want to run like a swords dance set without like the autotomize or, you know, or do just regular DD trick room, this one does it all. Has like it has a lot of different things in its
Yeah, it can also
arsenal.
just set up rocks.
Pardon?
It can also just set up rocks if it wants to.
Yeah, really fat psychic type as well. Um, Seismitoad, one of my favorite water types. Water absorb is super good ability to have. Very reliable rocks. You can just bring rocks every single week, and it'll always get them up. Like no matter, whatever you try to do. Um, One thing I want to ask is why did you go for Bronzong even though you had like Necrozma as a psychic type? That's like one thing I did not understand.
Well, it's mainly just to like. I think that was like one of the only like good steals that I liked. Yeah, I saw Magneton was around, but I
Mm-hmm.
just liked Bronzong a bit more
Ah, yeah.
than like the other steals.
Had like Registeel gone by that point?
I just personally don't like Registeel.
Ah, okay, that's
It
fair.
is too passive for me.
Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Electros, great bulky pivot. Was it tier
Yeah,
4 or tier 5 actually? I think it was a tier 5,
pretty
right?
sure it's tier 5. I think that's why I picked it up.
Ah, okay, right. Why didn't you Z Electros? I'm actually curious because it gets a lot of good coverage for Z.
It is a tier
It
5.
was.
Yeah.
I totally forgot it was a tier 5. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do
I
get
thought it was a tier 4.
changes to Z Captain, so maybe I guess if you can like fit it.
Does
Uh,
that like affect my transactions or no?
no. The Z changes are completely separate from your transactions.
Separate? I might as well just do that now.
Yeah, yeah. You won't get it for the first week, but definitely like second week. And Delibird. Why Delibird? I think there were other like decent options.
I only had rockers, and this just gave me a spiker. I guess another remover.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, because my
That
only removers at the moment are actually just Hydreigon and Rabombi without Delibird. So I
uh
know I'm probably not gonna bring Delibird too often,
mhm.
but it's just I guess a backup.
Yeah.
It's a nice
I
option to have.
yeah. Also like
Yeah,
another what's this called? Levitator for the team. I mean, oh yeah, never mind. You have four,
yeah,
so you not
yeah.
like you
I have
need
a
every.
lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um I think this team is really, I would say, well balanced out. Speed tiers are very well, like they're all, how do you say, they're very well like equally spread. I was actually concerned like about Bronzong and Necro, but like you can more than easily handle Ghosts because like Megalop plus Kecleon plus Hydreigon can like just share that Ghost weakness really easily.
yeah.
Dark weakness as
Also,
well. Go on, sorry.
Dark Magnus. Yeah, I just mainly Hydreigon and Rabombi.
Mm-hmm.
So knockoff spam might be a bit of an issue, but I think I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, you want knockoff spam because like it just helps your Necrozma setup, you know.
Weakness policy, yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm facing a Necrozma, the last thing I want to click is like knockoff versus it. So that could prevent people from even clicking knockoff.
And also, Mega Lopunny is not the bulkiest Mega, but having that Mega Stone and resisting knockoff does mean it
Oh
takes
yeah,
very little from it.
yeah, it
Yeah.
switches very reliably to knockoff. I 100% agree. Um, Anything else? I think we've pretty much covered anything. Any weaknesses you guys may see? I would say like physical setup might be a bit lacking. Like I would say Necro is like the main physical setup, right? Necro and Lycanroc.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Lopunny gets sword stance, but
No, it doesn't.
No,
Lopunny does not get
Nah, it
sword
doesn't
stance.
get. If it
doesn't.
got Swords Dance, it would be banned. It would be way
Yeah, that
too
would be way
broken.
too good.
Would be way too
when you got like Lycanroc with Sword Stance and Dragon Dance Hydreigon, you should not sleep on, but
Oh yeah,
that's like it. Aside from Necrozma, yeah.
yeah. I mean, Hydreigon, I would say 70-80% of the time is gonna be running, special. But I would say with Z, I would say physical makes an equally good candidate
True.
to being brought because like Z Iron Tail is so nice to have on Hydreigon. It's like
And
one of
at
my
that point,
favorite
you might
things.
as well just run Nasty Plot and Z Belch.
Oh yeah, so something like that. You want to kill like a Tapu Fini? That's like one of my favorite sets to kill them. Um, I would say I would. Yeah, that's it. Any like other type weaknesses you can see on this team? I can't see it at first glance. Anything? Maybe. Oh, I think one big thing is like Zygarde could be an issue. Like
Maybe
thousand.
a Tapu Lele.
Tapu. Oh, that is true. Like, the only thing about Lele, I would say, is that it's like forced to scarf basically, and
Yeah,
if it's forced to scarf, like Bronzong can check it. It's like forced to click a like predict a move. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's like I would say like Lele is our biggest weakness here. It can't like lock itself into a move. Like maybe if like and even then Hydreigon is like a faster scarfer than Lele, so like it can check it. Gengar can check it if it scarfs itself. So yeah.
Anyone even get Lele?
Pardon? No,
Did
no,
anyone
no,
even get Lele?
no. No
It's
one
gone.
got
no.
Lele. It got dropped.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the main thing I see is like Zygarde clicking 1,000 arrows versus his team because it doesn't have a grass type. So that's like one of the main things I could see. Because like otherwise you have ground moves covered with levitate, so like it won't
Yeah.
matter too much for the most part. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I would give this team like I don't know. I might give like an 8.5. Really, it's very well rounded, and yeah, I think I have nothing else to say. I think you have the defensive pivots and you have the offense to be able to, support them. So yeah. Anything else before we move on?
No, I think
No,
that's fine.
that's fine. Okay. Okay, so next up we have Ance's team, and he got second overall pick, and he picked up Mew, and Mew is like a Pokemon that can just do anything. You draft around Mew as if the Pokemon doesn't even exist, and he's drafted a really fat team around it. Like he has triple regen with Toxapex, Mienshao, and Audino. That's gonna be really annoying to break. Um, I would say he got like one of the best pursuit trappers in the meta with Mega Titar. So like, in case like ghost types want to trap Mew, it can just U-turn into Mega Titar, and then Mega Titar can easily pursue trap them. And the best part is like Mega Titar doesn't even care about like hidden power fightings because of its special defense boost. Like it barely takes anything from those. So I would say like Mega Titar is like one of the best support Pokemon that he could have drafted with it. Um, Other than that, I would say the biggest thing is like his speed cap is quite low. Like his speed cap is what, Mianshao? Yeah, Mianshao. So like
Yeah,
so that could be an issue, but he I don't but he has like a lot of ways to set up speed. Like Dragon Dance
Yeah.
Tyranitar, Mew gets like every setup option in the book. Volcarona gets Quiver Dance, so he's got a lot of really good setup on his team, and yeah, I would say maybe kind of lacking that special breaking aspect, but I would say like something he could click specs, just put specs on. I would say Magneton mainly is that role because Volcarona you want to be running either Boots or you want to be running Z. So I that's like the one thing I could see being a slight issue. Anything else you guys see? Because I think this is very well balanced. It's a fatter team, so yeah,
Yeah, the speed tiers are kind of like you said, but having, in my opinion, two of the scariest Dragon Dance users in the game next to each other,
yeah,
it's just guessing which one of them is going to click Dragon Dance this week,
yeah.
and they're both scary.
I mean, you
That's
don't know
very
which setup move they'll click because Mega Teeter can even run like Iron Defense body press sets really well.
exactly.
Yeah, and you like someone who's as I would say creative in team building as Ants. You never know which new set is coming up. That's like the biggest challenge you have when facing this team. You don't know which Mew is gonna turn up. Will it be Swords Dance? Will it be Nasty Plot? Will it be Cosmic Power? Will it be some support Mew like support Super Fang, stall breaking Mew? That's I think that's gonna be the main challenge. Removal, I would say, is fine between Mew, Togekiss, Volcarona, and Rotom. So he can easily like fit removal on this team. Um, any other weaknesses that you guys can see? Because a flying spam is covered really nicely between the dual electrics and T-Tar. So that should
This
not.
team could also have a Zygarde issue.
I mean, Gorgeist can be a really cool Zygarde check.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Gorgeist.
I used
Is
it
it
to.
guy small, or does he also get the larger forms?
He gets all forms. I
Doesn't
don't know. This document is like, it doesn't allow me to put like the other Gorgeist, but he gets all Gorgeist basically. Yeah,
yeah, then Gourgeist is a fine Zygarde check. Although
yeah,
crunched,
Yeah.
but still good.
yeah. So and you can choose its speed tier as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's say if you wanna like scarf or Gorgeist, you can bring like Gorgeist small and just click like, BAMP, Poltergeist and stuff with that.
And by the way, for Gourgeist, Zygarde does get crunch, so
It does,
that's,
yeah,
I guess, the thing.
yeah, but like, I would say like maybe a sub Zygarde could be the issue. Um,
Yeah,
maybe if Gorgeist would need to run like hidden power ice or something to like get through Zygarde, but it does like check it pretty well. And also Zygarde is like a lot of times like crunched for moves. It wants a lot of stuff on its move set. So yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be an interesting
Yeah.
one. Seeing
Also,
how.
thing with Zygarde is if it's not boosted, then Thousand Arrows is relatively weak. So
Yeah.
monsters like Toxic, Mega Tyranitar can still easily tank one of those.
Oh yeah, yeah. Zygarde, yeah. Zygarde doesn't have that big attack power. It's only like 100 base attack. So yeah, and I would say like he can get past Zygarde with like Mew for example. I think does Mew get haze or something?
It should.
Yeah,
Every move.
yeah.
No, it does not get Haze,
No, not get
Really?
haze.
but it does get Ice Beam, which is
Yeah.
basically the same as well.
There's a lot of noise with fumbling in the background. I hear. So
Yeah,
That might be
same.
my fault.
yeah, just try keeping it a minimum. There was a lot of fumbling. Yeah, it's good. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, you
Um,
muted.
yeah, I would say it's pretty good. It just looks like a very annoying team to break. I like straight up. That triple regen core is really really annoying because like Audino pass, especially with that dual wish passing core too, like Audino plus Togekiss, like you know, and most of the mons can easily go offensive and defensive, so that's also that aspect. I would say like the 20 remaining points is something that's kind of irking me. Like me, I don't know, something that could be upgraded for 20 points, but if synergy is like fine. Did I cut out? Hello? Oh. Hello?
Hello.
I don't know.
Can't hear
Yeah,
anything.
it just cut out for me.
Okay.
No idea why it cut out. Yeah, I was saying that. Oh god, I completely forgot about it. Like I was saying, like this team just looks so hard to break between like that double wish core, like Audino and Togekiss, for example, like just wishing into each other along with regen. So like chip damage isn't even existent on this team. It's gonna be really difficult chipping this team down through.
Yeah, that Togekiss is going to be so annoying
Yeah.
in this team.
Yeah. I would say that I would say like the one thing that could plague this team is like setup. Like if someone can get like a Dragon Dance and like Z one of Ance's walls, that could maybe get through his team, but then it's a case of Ants preparing accordingly to the threat. I would say like
Exactly.
that's one of like the main ways is gonna break through. Yeah, and one more thing is I think 20 points remaining, maybe something could be upgraded. But I mean, if you have the synergy going, then it's not. I would say just keep it as it is.
One
So
small thing is Togekiss might be a very good fairy, but Magneton is not the best steel.
that is true. I don't know. I guess he maybe want. I guess because of that semi-stall nature of the team, he wanted to like trap the steel types. That could be an issue to this team. I guess that was the thought process. But then you have hello. Did it DC
Hello?
me? Ah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, I was just thinking if it DC'd me. Yeah, I was saying that like maybe having Magneton like trap the steel types and just hidden power fire them away could be that could be the issue. But yeah, I see. I completely see what you mean.
Then maybe
Is
just
my audio
have
better now?
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
perfect.
But then maybe like have Magneton as a secondary steel type because you also have double up on electric types now with Rotom, and Rotom already doubles up on ghost types with Gourgeist.
That is true, but Magneton and Rotom don't share weaknesses. That's like one thing.
Very true, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess he got Rotom for the defog, but like, could he have gotten another defogger potentially? Rotom is what 60 points, 60 or 40? I don't.
It's was it tier 4?
I think it's tier 4,
It's
right?
a tier 4.
Yeah. I would say it's fine because like he can't upgrade something to like a tier 3 unless maybe like downgrades like like Gourgeist and like upgrades Magneton, but you know it is what it
It's an
is.
interesting case. That's
Yeah.
still a very good team.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's like a good 9 for me. Like this team is just going to be very difficult to break. Difficult to break, and the biggest challenge will be knowing what new set is going to come versus you. And yeah, I think that's it really. So should we move on to the next
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to ODF and the Florida Flygons. This guy, yeah, he started the draft very strong. Let's just say with like Darmanitan, Galar, and Mega Guard. I mean, like it's so difficult to swap into that core. I fought that core and it's disgusting. The only like more annoying thing I could have thought of was like if he went Melmetal Mega Gardevoir, because like that's an even worse core to like.
And I don't think that was available by the time I got back to him.
Yeah, no, I was like, what if he like drafted Melmetal round 1 and then he picked a Mega Guard, something like that. But yeah, Melmetal didn't get to him, so is what it is. But yeah, wow, it's I can't explain the team though. It's like I feel like it's like a chaotic mess of some sort. I don't know. I just can't put my head around it for some reason.
It's offensive, the
Pardon?
team. The team is very offensive. You got like Bilky Swampert,
Mm-hmm.
Heatran, and Porygon 2
Yeah.
is like your defensive modes, and
Mm-hmm.
Rotomo, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, it's just full offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like initially he was not drafting Sand with Dracozolt, and so I told him in PM like, bro, you're getting Dracozolt at these draft like a Hippopotas or something, just to keep that Sand option, for yourself, because Dracozolt with Sand becomes, I would say, like 3 times scarier
Absolutely
because
terrifying.
it's so terrifying. I would say it's even scarier than Dracovish under Sand. Because like Dracovish loves that strong jaw, but like Dracozolt has hustle normally, and it gaining sand is just incredible.
Electric is a harder like type to swap into.
Yeah, I mean you have ground types, but he deals really well with them. He has like a Rotom Mo. Darm Galar is fantastic. That Darm Galar Dracozolt, that's gonna be really fun to navigate around. Um, Excelgor with the spikes. This team loves spike stack. Like Mega Garden, G-Darm love Spike Stack, especially G-Darm because what it can just keep you turning and can keep like chipping down your opponent's teams. Um, what else? I would say like the team is very offensive, and the fact that Heatran's a Z means that Heatran would more often than not be running offensive sets. So I would say the backbone could be like exploited in that sense.
Although you
Um,
could still very easily run defensive Heatran with just C Solar Beam to destroy a water type.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Could I just I Porygon 2 just it's like a great resist all type. I really like how it fits the team. It just acts as like that slow momentum into Mega Guard or G Darm, and just they start ripping apart teams. And he drafted Rampardos as his Trick Room setter, I think.
The Trick Room Abuser, you mean?
Yeah, Trick Room Abuser. I mean, yeah, like I would say like Rampardos is that Trick Room Abuser, which could be interesting to see. I really hope to see what he can do with that thing, because like if you can bring that in safely, like, and it is Z, so like there you go, you just nuke like 3 threats out of the way with that 165 attack stat. Like I would say like a Rocky Z Rampardos sounds so scary. And it has like great abilities like Mold Breaker, Sheer Force, Rocket. I think it gets Rocket hit smash, right?
It doesn't get Rockhead.
It doesn't get Rocket. Okay.
It's Mold Breaker.
Yeah, it gets Mold. I mean, Mold Breaker's a fan. One of my favorite abilities. Fantastic abilities. Um, the first thing I see for its weaknesses is he doesn't have like a grounded poison type. So this team is very weak to T spikes. Like,
Oh yeah, no point at all even.
yeah,
True.
because like
What are the
Porygon,
removers? There's just like on.
yeah, like what's the remover? Oricorio?
Rotom.
And
That's it.
And
Rotom.
Rotom, yeah. So toxic spikes are really gonna be a problem for this team, because like Porygon 2, if it's toxic, it cuts down its like viability by like to a third basically of what it usually is. What about knockoff like takers? Because this team does not like having its items removed. Like you have Mega Guard, but that is neutral. So knockoff is also gonna be. I would say no. Exceldor gets sticky hold, but I don't know how well it takes them. I guess it takes like full powered knockoffs every time. So yeah.
Best bet is like defensive Heatran with a Z Crystal attached to it.
Yeah, I would say that's like his best knockoff taker for the team. So yeah, his team doesn't want like items being removed. That's a big one.
Yeah. One
Um,
thing also, Oricorio, the ghost form, is his only ghost type, so normal spam and fighting spam looks also very devastating.
yeah, yeah. What's his fighting resist? Mega Guard, right? Normally. Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and Excalibur,
Yeah, but like Excelgor is frail.
exactly.
I
Um,
also don't think he has a ghost or a dark resist.
does he? No. Oh, he is neutral
He
to dark.
does. Yeah.
He is neutral to dark types. That is interesting. Yeah, I mean he can offensively blow them back. That's no doubt with like Mega Guard and like Excelgor, but like swapping into like strong dark types is gonna be one of the biggest challenges this team is gonna have to navigate through. I guess maybe Oricorio could be like a fighting type in tier 5. There's a lot of good fighting types in tier 5, so maybe that could be changed to that. Um, what else do you guys think they can do to like fix their team? I also think Dracozole just looks out of place for some reason. I can't put my head around it why, but it just looks a bit out of place.
So maybe like just Excalibur and Oricorio, swap them out for some more bulky mons.
Yeah, he did get Excelgor for like the fast speed, because if he loses Excelgor, he doesn't have a cleaner. Yeah,
True.
like his Darmanitan is forced to scarf a lot basically. So Excelgor does help him a lot with cleaning. And yeah, it's a good team, but it's a very offensive team. So and So I'm hope to see how he plays around this team. Any other final comments or thoughts about him? I'll give him like a 7.5, mainly because I just don't think Dracozolt works here. If I'm being honest, I know he really wanted to draft it, but yeah, I guess if he really wanted to draft Dracozolt, he could have like went for Hippowdon much earlier in the draft, because I think Hippo went a bit later, or I don't know if it went like second to the person who took it, but I think Hippowdon could have definitely been gone like third pick. Like if he started with like Darm, Galar, Dracozolt, and then Hippowdon, then I would have said like yeah, yeah, like if he didn't, maybe like Swampert could have been like another water type, then I would have given it a bit more higher. But yeah, just the issues plaguing it are quite apparent really. So hopefully maybe he might make some free agents, or maybe he can play around those issues. So yeah, I would say let's go on with the next one. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so the next one we have is the Baltimore Blastoise with Davio Wolf, and yeah, the typical rain team you see in a draft. It's a really good rain team, not gonna lie. Very threatening rain team. Like
Yeah, I'm surprised you got Kyurem, Ferrothorn, and Zeraora.
yeah, like wow, it's a very good rain team. I like Zapdos more on rain, but I mean, because I don't know, like how, like I guess Thunder is gonna be Zeraora's main way of abusing rain, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could have been Zapdos, but the speed tier is just phenomenal for Zeraora. So, yeah. The other good thing is this team, like, yeah, it has a rain aspect, but he can very easily not even bring rain, and he can still do well with it, because he has like the mons to be able to function just well outside of rain as well. So yeah. Um. Any other thoughts? Hello. Can you hear? Okay.
Yeah, I mainly think that Kyurem is just very scary, but Kyurem is always scary, honestly.
Kyurem is
Yeah.
Kyurem is Kyurem is insane. I mean, it's funny, he got like the best freeze dry user, so that no
Yeah,
one can
exactly.
spam freeze dry against him, which is very smart in my opinion. Very good Miltank pick. I was actually thinking about this team earlier. I'm like, this team has a big freeze dry weakness, but then I saw the Miltank and I was like, oh wow, he doesn't have a freeze dry weakness anymore. Freeze dry and or ice weakness basically. But yeah, the Miltank is going to be shouldering a lot of that ice resistance for this team, because otherwise he's very ice neutral. Like Swampert is neutral, Pelipper is neutral, Omastar resists, Ferrothorn is neutral, Kyurem is neutral. So like maybe like a banded Mamoswine could be quite challenging for this team.
Did anyone draft Mamo?
I don't think so. Can someone check?
Nope.
I don't think Mamo went. Okay. But like even like a Galarian Darmanitan, for example, I mean, that went the pick before. That could be very difficult to swap into for this team if you're thinking about it. Although Miltank does like check it very well because of its stick fat. But like if it gets caught with like a superpower on the switch, that could like just end it right there for this team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Perfect Z users, Zeraora and Omastar, like fantastic Z users. I I would have picked the same Z users on this team. Maybe Torn could have. Maybe if I would have done like a Torn plus like another tier 3, that could have been another Z move user. Yeah. Any other thoughts? I really like this team. This is like a good rain team. I usually don't like weather teams, but this one is actually very well put together.
And honestly, I didn't like the Omastar pick until I saw that it was Z. That made it
Yeah.
a lot more scary.
Oh my god, Z Omastar is insane.
Like, yeah, sure, another Swift Swim abuser is cool, but you already have Mega Swampert, which is going to be like 90% of your time would be your go-to Swift Swim user.
Yeah.
With Z Omastar, makes it so much more scary.
Yeah, like usually if you're going with a team like this, you like I would say like two Swift Swim users. I would draft like two, like maybe like a Mega Swampert with like a Kingdra or like a Ludicolo. But yeah, like I would say he squeezed like the best value possible out of tier 5 for that Swift Swim, in my opinion. So yeah, very well done. I really like this team. Um, yeah, I have nothing else to say. Because like this team doesn't need a fire type because it's a rain team. It could have been really nice to have, to like just help the Miltank with that freeze dry weakness. Maybe like a fire type that has another stab that it can spam more often. One of my well, I got the bond, but like Incineroar is like one example. Like the team could have like gotten away with as a fire type, but I mean, still a really strong team. I'll give this a good solid like a 9.25 basically, because it's just very well put together. One big weakness is it's quite flying weak if you think about it, especially because you are setting the rain for them. So if your opponent has like a really strong like Hurricane user like a Torn, that could be really problematic for this team to swap into. Yeah,
True.
yeah. So like a
Yeah.
Torn could really mess this team up. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
unless you
gonna
run
be a
like
game
an.
of revenge.
Go on, sorry.
It's just going to be a game of revenging. The flying Mon comes in, takes a kill, then the rain abuser comes in, takes a kill.
Yeah, or like Zera comes in to like try to revenge the Torn basically. So
Exactly.
yeah, what other big flying types are there? Togekiss, I would say, is another big one. I know someone has a Dodrio there. Yeah, so there's a Staraptor in the next one. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles flying spam. That could be very interesting, but overall, really good team. Next
Agreed.
up, we have Lores, and I don't know. I don't get this team for some reason. Like, correct me if I'm wrong in thinking this, but like, if you look at this team, do you see like any big threat that stands out? Because like, I don't know. I just look at this team and I'm like, it's like it's fine as a team, but there's no like oh shit type of a Pokemon, you know?
The only Staraptor. That's about
Yeah,
it.
mainly Staraptor, and Gliscor. Those are like the Pokemon that I would be like scared of facing. But other than that, I don't know. It's a very weirdly put team.
Things like Salazzle can get very annoying, but there's a lot of shared types on this team, and
Yeah, like three
yeah,
flying types.
2 water types.
Yeah. Um, I don't know.
That's the main ones, but
That's about it. I don't get this team comp. Maybe he's comfortable with a comp like this and he can just blow people back with something like this, like Mega Amp. Oh, hello. Hey, Ants. Oh, bye,
He's
Ants.
gone.
Yeah. Do you think Mega Ampharos could have been like a Mega Manectric for this team? Because he has 40 points, so he could like upgrade it to like a Mega Manectric.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Mega Manectric would be a lot better.
Yeah. Mega
You can
Main.
also immediately switch to a different dragon type,
Yeah.
the Feraligatr or Arcanine or something.
Mm-hmm. He has a big freeze dry weakness, huge freeze dry weakness. Because Salazzle is
True.
so frail. Salazzle is very frail. Araquanid gets destroyed. I would say his best freeze dry resist is Sylveon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mainly.
Sylveon.
Types
Otherwise,
can also be annoying. It's like offensive rock moves can be annoying.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Because Girder is like the rock check. That is true. Yeah.
Although Gliscor is where you can switch into most ones pretty easily, but if it's a very strong stab rock type move, then it's gonna be some issues.
If it's like Robo has like Arrow, right? Mega Arrow. Oh my god, Mega Arrow blows this team back. I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
true.
Oh god, if it was like Dragon Dance, Stone Edge,
Ice
Dual Linking,
Fang.
yeah, and Ice Fang, like these three moves just really destroy, like blows his team back. So yeah,
Also, with Sylveon being a freeze dry resist, don't like Kyurem and Vanillix, most of the freeze dry mons get Flash Cannon?
they do.
Um,
But it is still very Spadef bulky, so it can
Yeah.
take those hits. Yeah.
Yeah, non-stabs steel type moves are eaten up by Sylveon often.
But still, yeah, big freeze dry weakness. There's a flying. I do see a flying weakness too. Like Mega Ampharos, I would say, is like the best flying resist on this team.
There's a Skarm, too.
There's Skarm, yeah, but like special flying types like a Torn. Again, Tornado Tyrian absolutely has a field day with this draft. So yeah, I don't see anything that abuses webs on this team. Not gonna lie, like I would say like Salazzle at best abuses webs, but like I don't see anything that
Yeah.
abuses webs. Maybe
And
Staraptor.
it's the Raptor. It's not
Yeah.
scary, but
Yeah. Or Chinchino, like
Yes.
a King's Rock Chinchino.
true.
Mm.
But
We're
that's more so
on
annoying than
yours, yeah.
very scary, actually. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't told his Z move users, so we're waiting to see what he puts as his Z move users. But yeah, I just feel it's a clunky team, and the points could be spent better on trying to like synergize it together. But hey, if you're comfortable with the team and you can perform with it, then by all means. I've seen like very wacky teams go super far. So yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. As for the score, I don't know. I think I'll have to give this a 5. I don't see that one Pokemon that I'm really scared to prep against. Like I would say the biggest one is Staraptor for me, and like Salazzle to a degree. But yeah. So any other final thoughts on him before we move on?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, so next up we have this is Fatty's team, and we have him in call to like talk us through what he wanted to draft and why he drafted it. So floors are all yours.
All right. Well, main thing with this team, I wanted to use Mega Minicham. I've not used it ever, and it sounds like a very fun mon to use that I'd love. So I got that early on, and also Tapu Koko, mon I've only ever used when we used it together.
Oh
And
yeah,
that
that
was
was fun.
alongside builds, and it did not really get to shine too often with offensive sets. More often defensive
Yeah.
than not. So just those two mons, and also with Hidden Power, Tapu Koko sounds very fun.
It is.
Also a big reason why I drafted Superior again, because I have used it already and it was very fun. But now also with Hidden Power, so it can blow stuff back. Yeah, Alone Mug for pursuit trapping the bulky ghosts and psychic. That
Hello. Hello.
He muted. Hello.
Yeah.
Fatty just muted.
I'll just continue what he said. Basically, Alolan Muck is very good to trap psychics and ghost type, bulky psychics and ghost types. Like, for example, Mega Medicham. Like, let's say if you want to like pivot a bulky psychic like a Cresselia Mega Medicham can just baton pass into Alolan Muck, and then Muck can just pursue trap it very freely. For example, just give example of one mon. Yeah, really good. It's like really good synergy between those two mons. Mudsdale is fat, takes a lot of hits super well, and very reliable rock setter, great coverage as well. And it's actually it can be very offensive too. So great ground type pick for this draft. And Archeops with Z is just insane. I would say that's like one of the best Z move users in tier 5. So yeah, definitely props on getting Archeops. Chandelure, great special breaking with the physical breaking Mega Medicham provides. Like one mon, for example, that Chandelure can't break is like Hydreigon, but like Mega Medicham just eats Hydreigon. So that wall breaking core just sounds so disgusting to like
No,
go up
yeah.
against. Yeah. Hello. I thought that was Fatty for some reason.
Oh,
Copperaja, very offensive steel type, but it can be super bulky if you like EV it correctly. If you like give like it's a very good assault vest user from myself. So from how I've used it before. Does this team have Trick Room by any chance? I think does Wiggly get Trick Room?
Wiggly, I think Mega Medi might.
it's
Maybe.
probably never gonna run that, but I'll
Yeah.
check.
I mean,
Wiggly gets it.
yeah, maybe because then Trick Room could be
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay. Because like Kaparaja is very difficult to swap into with Trick Room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's too
Shandy
big.
gets
It
it.
says
Yeah,
zero
yeah.
something.
Chandelure gets it. Chandelure gets it. Yep.
Oh yeah, sure.
But like, yeah, it's a really good steel type. Very fun to use steel type because its coverage is absolutely insane. It gets sheer force and what's the other one? Heavy metal. Yeah, heavy metal. So like heavy metal buffs like heat crash and heavy slam to like insane levels. Sheer force boost moves like I think it gets play rough. It gets iron head. So a lot of good moves are boosted by sheer force. Wigglytuff is actually a really good secondary fairy to the Tapu Koko. So like they form like a really nice. So like Tapu Koko mainly wants to be uh, offensive. Like it's not like a fairy type in the sense of like taking down fighting types or taking on dark types, like switching into them. But Wigglytuff like really easily switches into the dark types that Tapu Koko may not appreciate, and it can wish pass. Like a lot of his mons love wish pass. Alolan Muck, Mudsdale, Copperaja. A lot of mons love their wish pass. Dragonite, one of the scariest cleaners out there, especially with multi-scale. Multi-scale is well there. Multi-scale allows it to set up super easily with like weakness policy. Heavy duty boots have been super good this gen for this mon, and yeah, and Wailord as a water type, which I'm interested to see how many games this comes to as a water type. But yeah, other than that, this is a very solid all around team. Like I am already scared like trying to face this team. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Only minor thing I can really say, which like minus Copperaja, they don't really have a great like fairy switching, but I think that's fine. Chandelure and Copper should be able to like handle those fairies fine.
Yeah, like the special fairies, like even Alola and Muck can take care of them with like assault vest sets, like very
Yeah.
easily. And with like wish pass, Alolan Muck can be a good like swap into fairy types, like on the special side. Um,
Yeah.
don't see anything else really. Like Archeops is fantastic value as a Z move because like you can like just lead Archeops and like click a button basically because it's got like 110 special attack. Yeah. Um. Oh no, we did not actually. Yeah. Yeah. There's a big knockoff weakness too if you think about it. I mean, Wigglytuff can swap into knockoff. Um. But it doesn't want like its boots like it doesn't want its boots knocked off, for example. Alolan Mug definitely does not want its assault vest knocked off. Coco doesn't want its boots knocked off. Oh yeah, oh that is true. He has a Z Coco, so Z Coco can definitely be a good knockoff swap in. Yeah, that is true. Um, but like I don't know how many weeks Z Coco would come. It will come a lot definitely, but like yeah, it remains to be seen how like he handles the knockoff weakness in the weeks that he does not bring Z Coco.
Yeah.
What are his hazards? Mudsdale, great, Copraja great, Wiggly's great, Archeops, yeah, he's fine for hazards. His removal's fine, like Coco and Superior and Dragonite can easily like remove. So I would say this is a solid team. Like I can't see anything else really that this team may be lacking thus far.
Yeah, me either. I guess Edgequake, but they have like one of the best things to that in Mudsdale.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean Mudsdale is like yeah, that is true. Um what about like very strong fire moves? Like a Specs fire type? Like yeah, there's Chandelure, but like you know what I mean? Like if you bring like a
Yeah,
really
I could
strong
see that.
yeah, if you bring like a very strong fire type, that could be an issue. Although Dragonite does help with that if it has its multi scale up. So yeah, he has ways around it, but yeah. So something I was thinking something like a Mega Charizard Y, which Domi has, for example, that could prove
Yeah, even Zardex.
yeah, Zardex or something like Zardex or Zard could be a huge issue. But yeah, it remains to be seen because like Zardex can like run like Swords Dance Scale Shot and just break through multi scale, for example. So
Sure, yeah.
yeah, how much would I give? I would give him like I don't know. I would give him like a 9.5 because I love everything about this team except Wailord. Could be another water type. I know there were a few around, but hey, it is what it is. You know, if the rest of your team is threatening, you can like play around it, and it can be like it's got like that Wigglytuff syndrome where it has like huge HP, like but like bad defenses. So you can just invest in the defenses, and you'll be just fine. So I'm done with that. Let's move on to Domi, shall we?
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll move on to Domi. So Domi has, oh my God, this is a very scary team. I know I've said it for quite a lot, but man. Um, so his first pick was Aegislash. I would say like a more better place where Aegislash would like to have gone in draft. As compared to last time where it went like second overall. So yeah, very strong Ghost and Steel type. Can be offensive, can be defensive, physical and special. I don't know how much it benefits from hidden power. Does it benefit quite a lot, like from like a hidden power ice Aegislash, for example? If anybody can
Yes.
correct me on that one, I would be
I think it just hits fine.
Yeah, on stuff that's like 4 times a week,
yeah.
but that's situation
Mm-hmm.
when it
Regardless,
really needs the coverage.
regardless, very good steel ghost type. Um, Slowking, one of the best pivots and bulky waters. Really, I the only thing I would kind of say is bad is like it shares that ghost and dark weakness with Aegislash because like you want your bulky water to be taking on um, fire type attacks, and being sharing that ghost weakness can be very exploitable. Like let's say like Fatty Chandelure, for example, right? It can very easily click Shadow Ball versus them, versus those two. If yeah, and you know, while and he still has to fear the Fire Blast as well. Um, Speaking of Venusaur, it's a very scary mon, very strong sweeper, but I don't know about that with Megazard Y. Because the thing is, Megazord Y is more of a self-sufficient mon. It wants sun for itself. You know what I mean? Like it wants it to like it comes in, sets its own sun, and just blows stuff back with it. You don't want it like supporting stuff with sun. You want it to come in, blow something back with sun, and just get out basically. So that is my one complaint. I guess if we wanted to commit to the Venusaur, I think Torkoal would have been much better, like Torkoal or Alolan Ninetales, but or like he can change his grass type to something else. But yeah, um, It's like the main thing. But do not sleep on do not sleep on Venusaur. It can even set its own sun and just growth away and like sweep teams. Wickervolt with webs is very scary with this team. I can list so many Pokemon that love webs. Zardwai, Aegislash, Hoopa Unbound loves webs. Lycanroc Dusk loves webs. I think webs are. I think this is the one team that really is gonna exploit webs a lot, because he has like those middling speed tiers that, like for example, he doesn't have like the highest speed cap. Like his speed cap is what Lycanroc Dusk at 110.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very true. Yeah.
yeah. So webs do help alleviate that a lot, basically. And Wickerbolt itself is a very good bulky pivot for the team as well, along with Slowking. So yeah, that's pretty good actually. Clefairy, very good budget fairy type for the team. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say. It's like baby Clefable without what's this called, without
Items.
unaware basically. Yeah. Hoopa Unbound, terrifying mon. You run it physically, you run it specially. This you don't know which one is gonna come, and you don't know how you can prep around it. Cause and it can run Scarf, it can run Trick Room. So it's a really difficult mon to prep around with basically, and I think it fits really well on this team, to be honest. The one thing I would say is like, if we got something like Zapdos with that Hoopa Unbound, or like Moltres with that Hoopa Unbound, that would really like, I would say, prevent people from like spamming U-turn versus it, for example. So let's say if you're like
Yeah.
a faster Pokemon than Hoopa, I can just click U-turn versus it very freely. You know what I mean? And then and have like no consequences. This team just doesn't punish that U-turn that you want to punish when you draft Hoopa Unbound. Regardless, still
Yeah.
scary. Flygon,
Yeah.
great mon. Can run physical, can run special. Also a Z move user, so that gives it a lot of breaking power that usually it would miss out on. So like let's say if you can DD into like Z Earthquake, that can like destroy one of your opponent's walls, for example, or like click like Z Draco. Yeah, really nice pick with Flygon. Does share that speed tier with Megazard Y, but I would say it's okay in this sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kangaskhan, he has a really good ghost resist in Kangaskhan, which you really needed for his team, because like Aegislash and Slowking really want that.
Also another.
Pardon?
Yeah, just a good wish user. Just into their threads,
Yeah.
I guess, like Vikavolt. They need it.
Mm-hmm. Also, Hoopa Unbound is neutral to Ghost, so it also helps take on that. Lycanroc Dusk is his speed cap, is also fantastic breaker and cleaner. Yeah, just clicks moves, clicks buttons, and with the new coverage Lycanroc Dusk has, it's a fantastic remove user. And Avalug's actually very good removal for his team. What's his removal actually? His removal is Avalug and Flygon? Only these two? I don't see anything else, because Wickerwool
Yeah,
doesn't
Zard if it needs it.
Zard, yeah, but it's not running removal itself.
Yeah, it's probably never gonna run it.
Like his removal is solid. He has less removal, but it's good removal. So I think you can definitely fit removal on one of them and be just fine. Although maybe like Zardwise Sun could punish Avalug if like an opponent's like one of opponent's mon just clicks a fire move. So it needs to be careful of that. And yeah,
Yeah.
what I think one thing big weakness I see is that he doesn't have good knockoff switch-ins. So
I was gonna mention that. Just
yeah,
his fairy, Ankle Fairy, and then his Dark Bang Hoopa.
yeah,
Just not great knockoff switches.
like Clefairy doesn't want its Eviolite knocked off. That's a big
Yeah.
It doesn't want its Eviolite knocked off. So I would have liked to have seen another fairy, like I don't want to say Alcremie, but like an Aromatisse or some other fairy that doesn't care too much about getting its item knocked off. So that is, I think, the biggest weakness on this team. He has quite a bit of a flying weakness too. Like what is it? Like Lycanroc Dusk is frail and Aegislash doesn't want to be defensive a lot of the time, right? It wants to be a very offensive.
Yeah.
What are his hazards? Clefairy is his hazards and Lycanroc. Yeah,
Yeah, and then
Well,
just
has
Megavolt
webs.
webs.
and
Yeah,
Vikavolt.
Megavolt webs.
Yeah. Basically him pressuring people with rocks is kind of scary. But even though people would be forced to run heavy duty boots versus like the amount of mods that just abuse webs to the fullest. So there's that. Anything else? I really like this team. I just wish he had a really good knockoff answer or he had something to punish U-turn.
I feel like Flygon's like almost always going to be forced into a defensive role, just
Yeah.
because I mean, he's got Zard, which obviously wants like a really good defogger, and then his only other rock resist is going to be Aegislash, which has no recovery, of course. So I feel like Flygon's going to be running like leftovers defog like 80% of the time or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
with Roost,
like
U-turn, Earthquake,
yeah.
Defog,
And all of
something
his
like
other knockoff or defoggers can't afford to switch in on knockoff, so like rocks plus knockoff is gonna ruin this entire team. You know?
That is true. But yeah, honestly, this looks like a very fun team to use. Not gonna lie, it has those flaws, but like if you gave me this team, I'd make like one or two changes and just like have fun with this team. It's like you just click buttons and yeah, just watch stuff die basically. So yeah, I actually like this team slightly more than his last season's team because there's at least a bit more synergy put into this team than last time, and he actually drafted a lot more like scarier threats. So I would give him like an 8 for his team. It's a very good team. Yeah, let's go on to the next one. I don't have anything else to say. If you guys have any final closing remarks.
Really?
Okay. So next up we have the Dope Dittos, and oh my god, this is such a good team. There's like one or two gripes I have with it, but he got Megalarios round 1, insane. I'm not a very good Megalarios
So
user,
late.
but and it went very
Yeah.
late. I thought it would have been like top 3 or 4 pick, but
Should have, yeah.
But you take what you can get, right? Megalarios plus Melmetal, like holy crap, like insane.
Yeah.
Because like, oh my god, and then he has Infernape with Z, like what?
Yeah,
Florges.
his team's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
really
he has
good as
a
well.
really good Fairy Dragon Steel Core. I think he has the best Fairy Dragon Steel Core in the league, to be honest. Maybe
Oh yeah, definitely.
one of the best Fairy Dragon Steel Cores out there because Florges really helps support this team so well. Helps support the Melmetal and the Megalarios. I don't know what Chuckle is doing on this team. I'll be honest. I don't think it belongs here. And
I
that
guess
is his
hazards.
yeah, but that's his only hazard setter. So he could do better with that. I'll get later.
Nape does have rocks.
Oh yeah,
but
Infernape does have
it
rocks.
doesn't really want to run that like ever.
Yeah, nah. Like unless it's like those lead rocks endeavors type of sets, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get later as to. I think he should have gone with a more offensive rock type on this team. I'll come later as to why. Dusclops, good pivot. Could have been a more offensive ghost with this team just because he has a really good backbone. That he could have gone more offensive with his ghost type, but it's still a solid mon. A very good disruptor with Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split, and I think it gets Destiny Bond too. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Good, yeah.
Oh, Rillaboom, the double monkey core. Oh, these two work incredibly well together. Yeah. Oh, and oh, yeah. Very true. It's Fatty told me it's a very good trick room setter for Melmetal too. So yeah, very good job with the Dusclops. Rillaboom, that double monkey core is absolutely disgusting. You pair Rillaboom and Infernape and that U-turn, like they can just U-turn into each other's threats super freely. And that's where I'm coming with, if he had a more offensive rock type, like I'll give one example. Let's say if he had Nihiligo as his rock type with Rillaboom, Infernape, and Nihiligo, like what switches into that? You know what I mean? Like Nihiligo like destroys the birds or the flying types that Infernape and Rillaboom hate, and because I had a very similar core. I had Rillaboom, Mega Blaziken, and Nihiligo, and that core went to town. Like I had like 13 kills on my Nihiligo at the end of the season. Absolutely disgusting core. Vaporeon, again, a really good pivot, a really good Wish Pass. He has double Wish Pass, so his team is very offensive and it's very fat as well. So it's I really like this team synergy. Again, just the one thing being that no, just like one main hazard setter in Shuckle and like a situational hazard setter in Infernape. Snorlax can be another, great setup mon, trick room user, pivot, what have you. So, just another solid threat for the team. A really good thick fat user for like the Melmetal Megalarios. So like you can just swap it into like a mon that has those coverage and just take those hits just fine. You have really good switch-ins for fighting types. Florges, Megalarios, Dusclops. Yeah, they'll just handle them just fine. Raichu is a very good budget, I would say, electric. I think it's a tier 5, right? Did we put it in tier 5 or tier 4? I'm not sure actually.
Tier 5, yeah.
It's a tier 5. Yeah, really good budget tier 5. And Dodrio, again, really solid revenge killer for this team. Normally, go on, sorry.
I said Raichu's also another Wish user.
Oh yeah, so triple Wish for this team. I think this is something I would personally draft because it is. Oh man, this looks super fun. I would just have like that offensive rock type on this team and like one more reliable hazard setter. Normally, I'd like I wouldn't say punish, but like dog down points per team, like which has like a low speed cap. So like the speed cap here is 110, and it's shared by 3 Pokemon. It's shared by Megalarios, Raichu, and Dodrio. But like, does it really matter for this team? Because you have like, I would say the best priority user in Rillaboom with Grassy Glide. That easily circumvents that. Infernape gets 2 very solid priority moves in Vacuum Wave and Mach Punch as well. So he can get by that stuff very easily. Dodrio is a fantastic Scarfer. So I don't think this team suffers that much from that very high speed cap. Yeah. Anything else really? Does he have that?
No
dark type?
poison.
No poison. Does he have a dark type?
No.
He does not have a dark type. Oh, that could be big. I mean, Florges can, I guess, swap into opposing dark types, but like, and I don't know about maybe between like Melmetal and Megalarios, you can like play around like those store power users, but I don't know. That could be really game changing. Could be susceptible to future sight spam. Now that I'm thinking about it, like if you just click future sight and just pivot into your ghost and fighting. So
yeah,
you really need that grounded poison type. Maybe Dodrio could become like a tier 5 poison type for the team. Is like Garbodor in tier 5? I think it should be in tier 5, right? Tier 5, tier 4.
Should be tier 5, yeah.
Yeah, Garbodor, Swalot. Garbodor would probably be better because it'd give him more hazards.
Yeah. Where's Oh no. Oh yeah, Garbodor should be tier 5. Where is it? Just checking. Yeah. FIA. Is it even on the document?
I've definitely seen it.
I know someone ran it last time.
I don't see it on the doc.
Oh yeah, maybe it isn't on the doc.
Oh god. Okay, well it's a tier 5 then. If you want to get it, I'll actually add this. Yeah, I think some mods just got deleted when like Pit was doing season 2's doc. Anyways, like Garbodor can be a really good like substitute for Dodrio for this team because you don't need the speed tier pretty much. And you have the really good revenge killing like Rillaboom, Infernape. I guess is all you need really for revenge killing. Mega Latios can easily revenge kill. Melmetal's a monster under Trick Room, so I would like just fix that and all good to go. And try seeing if you can maybe fit like a dark type on this team. But that's about it really. Anything else?
I think their only removers are Megalodi and Florges. I don't think too big of a deal. They don't really have like a, I guess, hazard weakness.
Yeah,
Other than
I like Florges can easily put splash defog every time it comes, so it doesn't care really. Like it would want like hidden power fire maybe as a coverage move at most, but like Moonblast, defog, which protect just very standard for this team. Webs are solid. I would say webs are really good for like Rillaboom and Infernape again. Because like you bring like an SD Life Orb Rillaboom. I remember this calc. I think like Galarian Wheezing defensive takes like 67 to 81% or something from like +2 Woodhammer. Oh, from Rillaboom. It's a really broken calc. So yeah, it could really help with the two monkeys right there. As for the score, I'll give it like a 9.25. Again, get a poison type, grounded poison type, and get another Z move user. Don't put Shuckle because it's a tier 4. Like you can put a tier 5 Z move user as well if you wanted to. You can make Raichu Z. You can make it. You can even make the Garbodor Z as well. I would say those would be much better than Z Shuckle because I don't think Z Shuckle is ever going to do anything. And
they don't transaction Dodrio, they can just put on Dodrio as well.
Yeah, that is true. And yeah, very good. I actually really like this team. Just 1 or 2 changes, and yeah, all very solid. It's a big improvement from last season's team too. If I'll be honest. So there's that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We're already 1 hour 10 minutes in. This is wow, time flies. Next one we have is host, and okay, I'm just gonna summarize this team in like 2 words. This team has very good synergy, but somehow it's got like 8 Pokemon over base 100 speed, 100 or above. Like just look at it. Like Salamence, Cinderace, Tentacruel, Frostlass, Zebstrika, Celebi, Taurus. So I mean, okay. I don't know what to think about that because actually they synergize quite well together.
They set up Trick Room on this team because they have a Mega Maw.
Yeah, that is true. Unlike maybe well, Stack Attacker didn't get drafted, but like last season I 6-0'd them with a Trick Room Stack Attacker. So if maybe someone else has a good Trick Room on, they can very easily take advantage of it. And the thing is that Ditto doesn't threaten Trick Room users as well because it's usually running Scarf. So like you can even circumvent Ditto like that with Trick Room. So I would say a lot of work is needed there. I don't know. I don't agree with Mega Mobile being like the sole steel type of the team. I think he would want another steel type because you want to run it more offensively, and so it just loses a lot of what the steel types do really. Yeah. Hippo is fantastic. He has. I mean, if you have a Hippo, you have great hazard. So Yeah, Celebi. Celebi is also fantastic. Frostlass is a great spike stack user. Their removal is only Core Chain, Cinderace, and Tentacruel, right? Anything else? And Salamence, yeah. So their removal is meh, I would say, because Mence wants to be offensive, right? Especially when it's a Z move user.
Oh yeah.
It really wants to be offensive, and I mean Tentacruel can splash Rapid Spin very easily. And I don't know how much Cinderace is 101 and Court Change. So it's an interesting team. I don't know what else this team could be weak to. I would say Knockoff, but he has Mega Mawile for Knockoff switch in, so that could be played around just fine. But like I would say a ground type Knockoff user, if anything, could be the main one. Like if you have like a ground type Knockoff user, can't think
Like
of
a crook.
like a Landorus Tyrion, for example. Could be, yeah. Don't see anything else I want to talk about. Any other comments you guys can make would be really appreciated. I think my main one is like just please like diversify your speed tiers, because like I can run like I'll give you an example. I can run like a Gardevoir at like base 80 speed. And I can just put like max HP, max special attack, and just click buttons with it, because I don't need to outspeed anything like too much interesting. Maybe like a max speed Mega Mawile at worst, but yeah, you want to diversify those speed tiers on this team. Anything else? Don't have anything else to say. Pardon?
Mainly there's special threats. They don't really have any great ones.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that is true.
Celebi.
Oh yeah, Celebi and Frost. I mean, Frostlass can be mixed very easily, but yeah, there's no like
Mence
big.
can run a pretty good special set.
Pardon? Mence, yeah,
Mence
yeah.
can run a pretty good special set. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Z too. Like you can click Z Draco very freely.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have any other things to say. I'll give the team an 8. It synergizes so well, but that speed tier diversity is just rubbing me the wrong way on this team. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes transactions or how he plays around people bringing Trip Room against him. So, all right, I think we can move on next to Max. And right off the bat, Mega Gallade Tapu Fini is a fantastic core. One thing Mega Gallade absolutely hates is status, like T-Wave or Will-O-Wisp, especially those two. And Tapu Fini pretty much protects it from both those status conditions. So you can't essentially cripple Mega Gallade like that. And Mega Gallade has a lot of coverage. Like unlike Mega Maricham, it can actually threaten bulky psychics and ghosts with knockoff. Like you can run like Swords Dancer to knockoff and just be an absolute nuisance to swap into. Blacephalon is a fantastic cleaner for this team. It can easily run its Scarf every single week and just finish games off. Galvantula is a great web setter for the team as well. Mega Gallade loves webs a lot.
No parry resist other than Blaze.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Like
come to that.
I would just like drop Snom and grab like a tier 5 steel or something.
A tier 5. Oh, he doesn't have a steel type, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have a poison type as well.
With that, also flying spam can be annoying.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That is.
Yeah, like
true.
a steel would like help this team a lot.
Maybe Butterfree.
3 bug types.
And rock types, yeah. So a lot of like there's Donphan is like forced to bear the burden of like swapping into rock types and Mega Gallade, but yeah, it has a lot of weaknesses in the team. I don't get the Butterfree pick as well. Like I know it has like some utility, but like I don't know about Butterfree on this team. So definitely a steel and a poison type are needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else really? What about his removal? He has Feeney. Feeney is great. Arrow can remove Feeney and Arrow, right? Are the main removal.
Fan.
And Donphan. Oh yeah, Donphan is solid. Yeah. And his setters are Donphan and Arrow. Yeah, both are more than fine. And Galvantula. So his hazard game is, I would say, is fine. It's just that he's just missing those typings, and he has very big weaknesses on his team, especially that fairy weakness, like like Mega Gardevoir. Absolutely loves this team. I think ODF does ODF have his own webs. I forgot. I think I don't know if
Pretty sure, yeah.
I don't remember if he drafted if he has.
No, they don't actually.
They don't have webs, but like let's say if someone, what other fairy I want to talk about. I was gonna say Tapu Lele, but like Tapu Lele didn't get drafted. Clefable could also something like Clefable too. Oh, Clefable could be very annoying to this team. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, like Clefable can be like a Calm Mind Kibia Berry set could like just dismantle this team like on its own super easily. Yeah. Mm-hmm. As for how much I'd give you, maybe would you give this team a higher score than Host or like a lower score? Because they're around the same thing, but I kind of like Host slightly better because at least he has.
Honestly, I think Hosts is way better than Max's.
Yeah.
Like I think I'd give this like a 3 or
6.
4, maybe a 5.
Yeah.
I think like 4 would make sense.
Yeah. I would go with 4 because a lot of exploitable weaknesses, and yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if Z double does anything. I can't think of anything Z double will do.
What's the effect of Z Cotton Guard? Because it does get that.
Maybe like recovering stats.
Yeah, probably the.
Maybe
imagine it's too
Fightinium Z.
great.
Maybe like SD into Fight Z body press. I don't know how body press interacts with Z.
Nah, that doesn't work.
It doesn't
It
work.
just becomes a regular attack based on regular stats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he runs like SD into body press, into like Z body press.
No, like body press at +3 defense Z doesn't do any more damage.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's just like regular all-out pummeling.
Yeah, Cotton Guard basically removes the lower the stats are reset basically. So yeah.
Just a bulky steel will just make this team much better.
Yeah, you need that bulky steel, and that could be a
like I could see like Aggron fitting in pretty well here.
Oh yeah, that is true. Aggron could be definitely solid. Also removes the birds. Mega Glade hates as well. I mean, Arrow is there, but like Mega Aggron and Arrow, like really helps Mega Glade. Okay, I think that's it. Not much comments really for this team. Anyways, next up we have Voldark, and you're here in call, Voldark? Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, why don't you go? I'll give the stage to you.
Okay. I mean, this was sort of a variation on a team that I've used in like the Natdex tier. So, I centered around Mega Diancie.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted Magnezone to trap any steals. Mega Diancie has Mystical Fire and Earth Power, but it's like the what's it called? The flying steel types are still very annoying. I think they're honestly just annoying in general, regardless of what kind of team you have. So having something strong to take them out is really good. And Magnezone appreciates the HP Fire, even though HP Ground being sort of a little bit more common since it's a draft league is probably going to hurt it.
But I would say the HP Fire is very valuable. It's worth it, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Dhelmise I picked just because I needed a good grass type. It allowed me to get a ghost. It's a really good spinner, and I think it was this league, but last season when I faced off of it, it hit like I forgot how strong it is. It has really high base power stab.
I remember that.
It hits really hard.
Yeah.
And you can put a significant amount of bulk in it, and it still hits pretty hard. So
I think it's
Um,
130 base attack.
Yeah, exactly. Sneasel, I was like debating on what I wanted for tier 4. I definitely needed a dark type, but I also wanted an ice type just because I always like having an ice type. It also had a little bit more speed in it. I'm kind of curious to see how effective it is. It might get swapped out later, but we'll see.
It's a really good
There,
choice band user, in my opinion.
yeah, and if I do need to drop it, there's plenty of other darks in tier 4 that I could swap it for. Magmar I've seen used very effectively in a bunch of leagues. It's really nice, has good bulk with Eviolite, and is very fast. I think it's like
93 base
90
speed.
or 91 base speed.
Yeah.
Um,
Also can pivot with teleport really well.
exactly, yeah. And it can keep a good amount of bulk and be max HP, max speed. So has interesting coverage, good statuser. So it's all around. I think just a good bulky fire that I wanted. Latias, I needed a dragon. I was gonna get Dragonite, just because it had offensive and like defensive utility, but I went with Latias as kind of the next best thing. I don't know if
I would say
yeah,
Dragonite was still available. Dragonite got picked up very late.
yeah. Why did I pick it over again? We could go back, but I thought that it was taken by the time I went around to pick my dragon.
No. I think you picked Latios, and that was taken. So I told you to swap it to Latios.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Gira on the Mega Diancie team that I use on the ladder, I use like a Z Gira. So I was just like, and I don't know, I'm not like a big user of Z moves. Like when I make NatDex teams, I usually not always like structure one, even though I probably should. And I was surprised how well Z Gira did.
It has so many
With
good
Moxa.
options to Z into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, and it has a bunch of interesting other coverage and utility. I think the fact that I can run Z makes some of the coverage that's on a weaker side a little bit more effective, which will be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Sandsplash, really good low tier ground, spinner, spikes, and what's it called? Stealth Rock. So I was really happy for that. Wheezing, again, good defensive. Poison, I might be able to do something interesting using neutralizing gas.
Yeah.
Maybe with like no one picked Mega Sableye this time, but I've seen it used as like a toxic nucleogen gas on Mega Sableye. And then Licky Licky, I just wanted a little bit more cleric support, so I went for that. Although I guess I will say, just at least personally, I've had sort of limited success using it sort of as a wish passer, maybe just because I'm not skilled enough yet to know when to bring it in to take advantage of being able to fire off a wish, but we'll see.
Wanna basically let's say if your opponent has like a Scarfire Dragon, right? You want to bring it in versus something like that, because like let's say if they click Dark Pulse, they lose so much momentum out of that, and you can like wish pass into like one of your bigger threats. At least that's how I use it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Latias, I can go back to this, also has wish and healing wish, so that can be a nice little support. Oh, and I think I skipped over it, but again, Galarian Zapdos, I've been wanting to use it for like in a couple leagues for a while now,
It's
and
so strong. It's ridiculously
so yeah, I'm really looking forward to using that. I was tempted to make it Z as well, because I make it Z instead of Gyarados, because I was like, there might be situations where having like I don't know, Z Fire Blaze Kick or something might be like really useful, but I think in the end, it'll be better off just either being like, Scarf, Life Orb, Choiced, or I don't know, something weird like Protective Pads in like some odd situation.
Yeah. I think you made the right choice making Gyarados Z. I could have also seen making Latias Z as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Latias could have also been a great Z move user, but Gyarados, fantastic. I'm really interested to see Weezing, because it has really good moves that it can Z into. Like, let's say, I don't know, you go into a Steel type, you just nuke them with like Z Fire Blast or something.
I'm actually interested to see if I'm able to make that work, especially because it kind of makes it a pseudo like knock resist,
Yeah,
especially with the bulk it has.
I mean, Mega
So
Diancie is a fantastic knock resist, anyways.
yeah, that's true.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it? What is your defog? Your defog is I think is Delma is a solid.
It's just
removal.
Latias, and then I have Sandslash and Delmise as spinners. I think I'd rather have maybe. I typically I'm more comfortable having a few more removers, but I
Yeah.
couldn't make it work.
Yeah, I would say maybe screens could be annoying for you because, like, defog is on Latias,
Yeah.
and Latias may not want to run defog. Because
Exactly.
I've had this issue in the past where our only defog was like a Landorus Therian, and the opponent just brought screens, and we got absolutely dicked in that matchup. So I could see that being a problem. Speed cap being Sneasel's fine because you've got really good scarfers like Zapdos Galar is a fantastic scarfer. Latias can scarf fine. Mega Diancie can agility as well. Gyarados is like it'll just be like Dragon Dance like what 80% of the time. So like
Yeah, probably.
so maybe I mean speed cap being Sneasel is fine for you to be honest. Anything else? Knockoff. I mean, you have good knockoff answers, so it's not a problem really. I mean, you have all the types. I would say maybe like let's say Weezing wants to run Levitate, and your opponent brings like Toxic Spikes versus you.
Yeah, exactly.
That could
it'll
be
be
an
tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of your mons don't care about it. Like what, like Zapdos doesn't care. Even also Mega Diancie can also be Magic Bounce too. So like, I don't know how much they'll want a T Spike versus a Mega Diancie, especially if they
Yeah,
are
exactly.
themselves weak to T Spikes. So yeah, I really like this team. I was at first I didn't get the Magnezone pick, but it makes sense now, especially the Steel Flying types. You really don't want to face with a team like
Yeah.
this.
Although I don't know. I guess besides Celesteela, did anyone pick up Skarm and
Skarm's there.
Corviknight?
Skarm's there. Corviknight wasn't drafted. I would say like the biggest one would have been Corviknight for sure.
Yeah.
That one would have been very annoying for this team because like Corviknight's a lot bulkier and has that recovery, and like
Yeah,
it can run like Mirror Armor to dick with Mega Diancie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fun to run. By the way, it's like against fairy types that have mystical fire. You just bring Mirror Armor and they destroy themselves, basically. So, alright, thanks, man, Chick, for being around. Take care.
No problem.
Yeah, it's very nicely balanced. I'd give you like a 9.25 as well. It's a very good team. It's got really good mons too. So yeah, I think let's move on to Robo. And Robo, you are here in call, so why don't you like walk
It looks
us
so
through?
fun.
Hmm?
This team looks so fun.
It does. It's got so many of my favorite mons on one team. Oh my god. Yeah, go on, Robo.
So I grabbed Mega Arrow just because it gives me something super fast, because I always end up with really bad speed tiers if I don't draft something really fast in the first few rounds.
Mhm.
And it's just really strong,
Mhm.
so it gives me like a nice baseline.
It's
And it
basically
was
like,
one of the best Megas
it's
left.
like there's like I would say 2 Pokemon in draft I can think of at the top of my head where I'm like, shit, what is my switch in? One is Victini and another one is Mega Arrow. So yeah, it's very difficult to swap into this mon, especially with the dual wing beat buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue on. Sorry.
And then I grabbed. Oh, sorry. I grabbed Lottie just because it gives me a Scarfer that can outspeed things that might try to Scarf to outspeed Mega Arrow.
Yeah.
It also just gives me a super strong special offense, and it's even stronger with Z moves. So
yeah.
And then I grabbed Crook to give me some rocks, give me another good choice Scarf user if I needed it, and also just give me a good ground type and give me a good dark type. Also give me a good answer to steel types, which I didn't really have. I got then I got Weezing G for it gives me my grounded, poison, and my fairy. It gives me removal, it gives me T-spikes, it gives me clerical support, and it's just nice to have. Hitmontop gives me another intimidator. It also gives me more removal and...
Hello? You there? Hello? Hello, did I DC? I DC'd. Hello.
I thought
Yeah,
it was just
go on
a
again, sorry. Yeah, I DC'd.
And then I got Scissor just because it's my favorite steel type in draft. It gives me a really good priority and Technician Bullet Punch. It gives me another removal. It gives me another knockoff user. Just really good mon. Arcanine gives me...
Furfrou again because I DC'd. Can you go through why Furfrou again? Because I DC'd.
Oh, I didn't. I was going to wait till the end for Furfrou.
Oh, okay. Yeah, continue on, sorry.
And then I got Arcanine just because it's a bulky fire type that I'm also comfortable with. And it also gives me like a teleport user to get into something like Mega Arrow or Lottie safely.
Yeah.
I got Vanillix just because I like to have a strong ice type. And Vanillix is a cheap but still pretty threatening ice type.
Yeah.
Suicune just gave me a good water type. And that's really just the reason I have for Suicune. Trevenant gave me the grass and normal type I didn't have.
Ghost.
It also...
It's a ghost. Grass and ghost, you mean?
Oh, yeah, grass and ghost.
Yeah.
And it also gives me Willow. I think it gets knocked too.
I don't think so, no. I don't remember.
Well,
I mean, you get like Poltergeist and Hornbeach and a lot of good coverage. It's really fun one.
And then I just grabbed Furfrou at the end because I didn't really see any other tier 5s that would really benefit my team. So I figured I'd grab a normal type, and Furfrou is just the best one there. It gives me a T-Wave user, which I'm not sure I have one of yet. And it's also just pretty bulky with Fur Coat and Cotton Guard.
Yeah, it also gets U-turn, right? If I remember correctly.
I think it does.
I remember it gets U-turn. I think it gets U-turn.
Yeah, Trevenant also has Frisk, which I feel like in draft can be very helpful, especially for... I mean, I don't know what your experience is, but it was very helpful for me early draft when I would always be like, I'm going to lose because I don't know if this thing is banded or scarfed or something.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Frisk is very good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like information about opponent's items are so solid, especially like if you're like, is my opponent scarf or is he banded, you know? So very good scouting ability as well. Yo man, this is such a fun team. My one gripe is like your rocks are crocodile. I mean, Mega Arrow also gets rocks, but like I don't know how much you'll want to run rocks on Arrow. It's a very good rock setter. It's a really good rock setter because it forces so many switches as well. So yeah, so I would say rocks are kind of the one thing setting it back. Otherwise, you have like plenty of removal. I might be a bit scared of like Adrenaline Orb users versus this team. Hello?
Hello?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I was gonna say like Adrenaline Orb users could be problematic because like you have like 3 Intimidate users, so like if they're like a special attacker with Adrenaline Orb.
Oh, true. I didn't even notice that Arcanine had Intimidate.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
I mean, usually what you'll run Flash Fire or something, right, on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it synergizes very well with Scizor, because like, yeah. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but like Scizor can run like Natural Gift too, in this meta. So like Natural Gift Fire, super nice to like destroy other Steel types, as well. Otherwise, this is a very scary team. Honestly, I can see every mon coming on this draft when preparing. So you've drafted so well, man. really well. How much can I don't know. I'll have to give you a 9.75 or something. If you had like,
Really?
yeah, man, it's a really good. I don't know. I just feel it's maybe I'm biased too because this is something I really want to use as well. Because every single mon is making a case for coming. Like even Furful, like T wave, U turn, and all that utility. So I mean, you've really done well. Could see bulk being somewhat of an issue, like special bulk. Like I could see special bulk being an issue, but other than that, this is this is such a fun team. Yeah, if like someone asked me to take over this team, I'd easily take it over. Like no problem. The only thing is I'm just a bad Latios user, but like I'd use Latios with this team just fine. So yeah, think that's it really. Anyone has any other comments before we move on? No more comments?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
You think okay, perfect. Let's move on to
Okay.
Tate. Okay. This is a second draft league, and the team we drafted for a second draft league is actually pretty decent. It's on the semi side, but I don't know what his experience in Pokemon battles is. Maybe he plays like this playstyle on the ladder or something. But yeah, like Mega Scizor, Clefable, fantastic, like fairy steel core right there. Blissey is one of my favorite normal types to use in draft because it's such a good pivot with like teleport and heavy boots, and the utility is great. I'll come back to the Indeedee later. That's like the one thing I don't like about this team. Virizion gives him a lot of speed. That speed is really nice for that Virizion that it gives a team. So good ground resist as well. Glaceon's actually a pretty good tier 5 mon. It's actually bulky, yet it can still hit hard. Zoroark disguised as like a potential Zygarde or like a Mega Scizor could actually be very devastating. Like especially Mega Scizor, because like let's say you try bringing in your flying type and then Zoroark just clicks like nasty plot or like Dark Pulse and just destroys the flying type. You know what I mean? So
If you bring in like a steel to take a bullet punch and then it flamethrowers.
yeah. I really like Zoroark on this team, and it's Z too. So what if like it just clicks all out pummeling versus you and just nukes the steel type? Yeah. Zygarde is a really good Pokemon. Just I don't know what to say. I think it's got a lot of good utility. Like it's a great cleaner, great setup mon, etc. Quagsire, I guess he wanted it for the double unaware on this team because he is erring on the semi-stall side. So like like preventing setup could be is like a very good shout out from him personally. Talonflame is great as speed, and finally the Nidoking, just a very offensive Pokemon in general with its coverage and all that stuff. Indeedee. Now the biggest issue I have with Indeedee is it disrupts two of your biggest priority things. It disrupts your bullet punch and it disrupts your extreme speed guard. So I think Indeedee just fits on his team, and maybe Newton can be another poison type. Maybe a
I don't think
Nihilego.
there's any. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I don't think there's anything that really benefits from Indeedee's psychic terrain either,
Yeah.
besides Self.
Yeah.
Like a Lele or anything.
Yeah, like there's no like fast fill mon that wants psychic terrain. Like there's no Voltorb or there's no Dragapult, for example, that would love that psychic terrain.
Yeah.
So I would go with another psychic type, and instead of Nidoking, I'd go with like a Nihilego or something. Nihilego would be dangerous on this draft, if you think about it.
Heligo would be terrifying on this
Yeah,
team.
because he has a Zygarde, and you don't give a shit about steel types if you have a Zygarde. So Nihilego hates steel types. So Nihilego is gonna click buttons and just go to town as well. And Nihilego is like one of the best Z move users. Like if you can Z Nihilego and Virizion, oh my god, that's so disgusting. Like Virizion is a great Z move user, or Nihilego and Talonflame as well. So I would say remove Nidoking and put Nihilego, and maybe swap out Indeedee for like another tier 3 psychic. Actually, let's see what's available in tier 3. I'm just gonna quickly look at it. Crest is there.
Cresselia?
Crest, yeah, but then there's too much bulk on one team. Maybe I was looking at more offensive psychic type on the team. I would say the main one is Cresselia. So something like Cresselia could be nice, or maybe a Galarian Slowbro could also be cool. So yeah, just maybe watch for stuff like that. What's the removal? Only Mega Scizor and Talonflame. That's it. Yeah. So a bit weak.
It's gonna be tough because Mega Scizor has like 4 move syndrome a lot.
Yeah.
It wants to run Bullet Punch, Knockoff, U-Turn, Defog, Roost, Superpower,
Swords Dance, like
Swords
yeah,
Dance.
oh yeah, Superpower, like
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like it's a very good defogger, super good defogger, but I don't know how many times it will want to defog. And same with Talonflame, you know. Talonflame may also want like Swords Dance as well.
Especially with the 4 times rock weakness, even if it brings boots, if it gets them knocked off, it can't really come in on rocks to get rid of them.
Yeah. Also, because they're new in draft, I would this team rewards, I would say, a lot of creative building. You know what I mean? Like Clefable has a million different sets, and if you can bring like a completely different set, or if you can innovate with Clefable, that it's so hard to face in draft. If let's say you prep for like a defensive Clefable and like some Life Orb Breaker Clefable comes. Same with Zygarde. Let's say you prep for DD and some Glare subset comes. So this team will definitely reward creative gameplay, as I would like to call it. But yeah, how much would I give it? I'll give it an 8.5. It's for like, I would say like your second or third draft. I really like this team. With just a few FAs, maybe like definitely Nihilego. I would go Nihilego or Nidoking, and I would go another psychic type like a Cresselia or something else, basically. Otherwise, very good job, very well done for a really good team. Okay, let's move on to Jay. Any other final closing thoughts before I move on?
No, I think that's good.
That's good. Okay. Next up, we have J4Y3L. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm really sorry. And I think they're also kind of new to draft as well. So, yeah, I saw quite a few like new timers as well. So it'll be really interesting to see how they develop in this league. I don't know where to start. Like Galander's Theory and Rotom Heat is great synergy as well. They like take care of each other's threats very well. Like Rotom Heat is a fantastic ice type switch in. Weavile's phenomenal. Weavile's a great revenge killer with Swords Dance and Ice Shard and all that stuff. Empoleon, great rock setter, remover, great water type. Amoonguss is a fantastic pivot for this team as well. I think they've done a really good job with their high tiers, but their low tiers are not as good. And I guess Mega Audino can be like a tier 2 Mega rather than a tier 3 Mega, because like you're not using the points basically. So yeah, any thoughts about this team? I do see a knockout weakness though, so Mega Audino definitely helps with that, but you can definitely upgrade something like, I don't know, you can make Vibarel into
There's a lot of better normal types in
Vibarel.
the 5th tier, like Regigigas.
Yeah, you don't even need a normal. You have Mega Audino.
True.
You have Mega Audino. Mega not Mega Medicham. Medicham can be another fighting type, like I don't know, like
Hitmonchan?
Hitmonchan or a Passimian, one of those, like it has pure power and it's fine, but I think the other types just provide a little bit more, I would say. Yeah, I don't know what Barbarrel can be on this team. Probably a knockoff answer, if you really think about it. Another knockoff answer besides Mega Audino. Like, yeah. Anything. Maybe Gardevoir could be something else, potentially. Like, you have Gardevoir and Medicham, so, like, there's a lot of type overlap on this team.
Yeah, there's like 2 fairies, 2 psychics, 2 normals.
Yeah. A lot of type overlap, which is. If you play it right, it's fine, but I don't know about a
There's
team
also
like this.
2 4 times Ike's weaknesses.
Yeah.
But you also got some good ice resist, so I
you
don't
have
think
a
that's
Rotom
too
Heat.
big of an
Yeah, you have
issue.
a Rotom Heat and an Empoleon, so which are like fine as ice resists. Not the end of the world, really. Yeah, I would say I think I would summarize it as very good high tiers, but needs work on the low tier. As how much I'd give? I'd give them a 7, I would say, just because the low tiers can be better and the points allocation can be a lot better, in my opinion. Yeah. So, any other final stuff before we move on? I think
that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think they're also new, so maybe learning what they want in draft and all that stuff is really gonna take time, basically. Next up is Blaze, and oh my god, this is a very good team, very well crafted. This is something I would use personally. He has built around Megazord X like perfectly. Tornti, Slowking Galar, Zarude, Palossand, Comfy, Buzzwole, Registeel, like every single mon can come. Maybe not Perugly, but like every single mon can very easily come and can be something completely different. Like Megazord can be Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, can be bulky. Torn has a million sets. Slowking Galar is fantastic in the coverage it has. Zarude's a great Scarfer, also a great stall breaker with like bulk up and jungle healing sets. Palossand's
It can also be AV to catch psychics with like coverage off guard.
Yeah, for sure. Palossand is bulky, has reliable recovery. Rotom Frost is, I think, the best Z move user in tier 5. Yeah, I would say it's like the best Z move user in tier 5 because Bolt Beam is phenomenal to spam. Blastoise, again, offensive and defensive super easily. Great momentum. Comfy, great momentum. Buzzwole, very solid with Beast Boost. Great synergy with like Slowking Galar. Like great synergy with Slowking Galar, for example. Registeel is a phenomenal steel type. And Perugly, I don't know why Perugly is there, but hey, you may know, better than I do why Perugly is there, but
no, he talked to me about this. It was for the speed tier and also for the normal typing.
Okay.
That's the main reason why he went specifically for Perugly was the like 112 speed tier.
Oh wow, it's 112? Damn, I actually didn't know that.
It's really
That's
fast.
Wait, what?
I didn't. I thought it was like 92 or 90 or something. Damn. Okay.
Nah, it's at least 110.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
it's thick fat too. Yeah, interesting. Oh, and Defiant.
Wow. Okay. No, this thing's a bigger threat than I thought.
Have I been sleeping on this thing?
Oh my god. What's his bulk actually?
U-turn.
What's his bulk actually?
This might be a very like niche. Huh? Yeah.
Its bulk is actually it gives me like Skuntank vibes if you think about it, right? Like that's that stat spread. Because usually
I'm gonna write this down. Oh, this actually has some pretty good utility.
Yeah,
Okay.
like let's say you don't get Miltank, you can just get this thing. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Wow.
I'm not saying it's good. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, Well, yeah, U-turn, T-bolt, Shadow Ball. Yeah, well, this
It's fake out,
it
knock,
gets last
sucker
resort
punch.
as well. Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, knock off. Wow, okay, yeah, stomping tantrum, play rough. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. I underestimated that thing. Okay, well, taking into consideration that utility, I don't know, I'd give him a 10 out of 10 here. I think this draft is just harmonizes perfectly. He has everything he wants in one draft. Rocks, Palossand, and Registeel. I don't. What else are the rockers? But honestly, these two just rock so well that you don't even need anything else. Removal is Torn. Torn is excellent as a remover. Rapid Spin, Blastoise, Defog, Rotom Frost, Defog, Comfey. He has good flying resists in Rotom Frost and Registeel. Great fairy resistance, Slowking Galar. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that Buzzwole Slowking Galar core is disgusting because you have like one very high Fizz Def, one very high Spadef. So, yeah, he has a lot of momentum, like U-turn, Torn, U-turn Zarude, Full Switch Rotom, Flip turn Blastoise, U-turn Comfey, and U-turn Purugly. That was six options. So I think this is my favorite team personally, because he has everything that he wants, and he's just built around it so well. So yeah, I think this is my favorite team in draft, to be honest. And of course, Z-move users, Torn T and Rotom. Like, do I even need to say anything else after this? I mean, yeah, just fantastic team. Great job. Any you guys have anything else really? Because I don't know, I don't
No,
see anything.
No, yeah. I think I'm good.
Like I was
looks
like,
pretty good.
yeah, like no spikes weakness or anything of that sort. So wow, yeah, really good team. Yeah, last one is my team. I okay, so this time, so who's that? A Fatty. Oh, he's still there. Oh, Chick.
I think Chick.
Yeah, it's Chicory coming back.
Yeah, we just finished with Blaze. I'm right on my team. I really wanted. So I had two Pokemon in mind. I either wanted Celesteela or I either wanted Landorus Tyrion. And I was like, ah, damn, I'm like last pick. I don't think I'll get either of them. Maybe one of them, but definitely not either of them. And like both of them fell to me. So it was like this moral dilemma on which one do I want. And I saw Garchomp also made it to me, which was shocking. I don't think Garchomp should have made it to me in a Z meta. Like it should have definitely gone before. Like it should not have made it to me. It even made it to the last pick last time as well. So like I was like, okay, Celesteela is there and Garchomp is there. I'm gonna start with those two, and I'm gonna say like I have got like one of the best ground types in draft, and I'm gonna Z it. So like Z Garchomp is absolutely disgusting in like the coverage options and the setup and everything. Yeah, and Celesteela can just run any set it wants. If you EV it properly, it can beast boost and all of its stats if you EV it properly, and it's bulky enough to like abuse so many items like Meteor Beam, Weakness Policy, lefties that succeed set. Just very good mod. I have a whole video about Celesteela if you want to check it out. The next one is interesting because I haven't had much success with it, and I didn't like the mon as much before, but I want to give it another shot, and that's Rotom Wash. Um, I wanted a high tier removal option on this team, and I know high tier water type, and Rotom gave me both. Because I didn't want to go Tapu Fini at that point too, because I couldn't afford to. I'd have needed like a low tier mega to like fit that in basically. But anyways, yeah, Rotom Wash, momentum, nasty plot, offense, defense. It's a really good mon. I haven't had that much success with it in the past, and I haven't liked it. Incineroar, oh my god, I've really wanted to use this mon for like the longest time. It's like I've never been able to fit it onto a team, and I'm finally able to do it. So yeah, knock off, U-turn, parting shot, so much utility setup. really really strong Pokemon. I think Incineroar is like the top 3 mons I'm super excited to use, along with like Celesteela and Mega Venusaur, which I'll come back to after. Swallow, I wanted speed, I wanted power, and I wanted to grab it early, so I grabbed Swallow. Lycanroc Midnight was like a Pokemon I just wanted to like scarf. Like in the base 80s, I was like, okay, I just want a Pokemon I could just put Choice Scarf on like 70-80% of the time and it delivers. And like Lycanroc Midnight was like the best Pokemon available back then. There, Silvally, any type, bunch of things. Love this Pokemon. I yeah, just fantastic Pokemon, and another removal option too. Cofagrigus is something I used with Celesteela in another team, but that league was like cut down to like 3 weeks or something, so I couldn't use it that much. So I was like, yeah, I'll just grab Kofag. I really wanted to try it, and I got Hariyama as well because I saw Gub use it last season, and he used it so well, especially with Thick Fat. Thick Fat Toriyama is such a good Pokemon, like really nice switch into like a lot of things. Like, let's say if you want to switch into Kyurem, for example, you can run like Assault with Thick Fat, and you can always pivot into Kyurem with this thing. Guts, fantastic. Gets Fake Out, Bullet Punch, strong, very good coverage. And with Kofag, it's got Trick Room. And the last one is something that our good friend Sorrow from last season convinced me how broken this one is as a Z move user.
Oh yeah.
It's he. Oh my god, he got a lot of kills with. He got like 10+ kills with this mod last season. I think he got more kills than his Mega Lopunny. Like he used it
I
so
think it was
well.
the kill leader, yeah.
Yeah, he scarfed it, he Z'd it, he banded it, he brought, I think he even brought Healing Wish. And I looked at it, I was like, okay, this is like the perfect time for me to use Galarian Rapidash because my team is already so bulky that I don't really need a bulky fairy. So I was okay going with like a more offensive fairy in Rapidash Galar. Plus, if I want another fairy, I got Silvally for that role as well. So I'm actually really excited to see how Galarian Rapidash does. I think it's gonna be very fun. And finally, no one picked it. I'm so glad, but I wanted to try Steelasaur. It's so hard to break in draft because these two cover each other like perfectly, I would say. And like yeah, like for example, Mega Venusaur hits Psychic and Flying types, and it needs to be hit by like Stab, Psychic, and Flying types to do any damage. Like I saw some disgusting numbers for this mon, and yeah, really really excited about this team. The one thing this team lacks is like this team doesn't have reliable recovery, so this team can be chipped down, I would say, fairly well, like with rocks and other leech seed users and so forth. Because my main reliable recovery is like Mega Venusaur with Synthesis, so, and like Swallow, but like who's gonna roost with Swallow? So I would say the chip damage on this team is definitely gonna be the issue, but I think I can play around that fine. Um, I mean, I like if I put, for example, like a Witch Passing Fairy instead of Rapidash Galar, then I would have lost a lot of offense on this team. So yeah, that's like the only thing I would like dock myself on. Like I just didn't draft a good. I just don't have like reliable recovery. But otherwise, synergy wise, I think all these mons fit very well. You guys have any thoughts about my team? What I could have done better? What I could have drafted?
It could probably use another rocker with, I'm pretty sure, Chomp and Lycanroc being the only rockers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But other than that, this team's really good. Celesteela, at least in my opinion, is the best setup sweeper in draft.
Oh man, for
sure. Steelasaur is super hard to break. You've got a really good fire, water, grass core. You've got a really good offensive Fairy Dragon Steel core. Other than and like maybe another rocker.
Yeah.
Super solid.
Yeah.
Like a 9.5, 9.75 for me.
Oh wow, okay. Anyone
Yeah,
else?
no, I think it's really high. And even, I mean, there are a lot of really good Chomp sets that you can give rocks in the last move, depending on what you're using it for. So
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't even matter
Yeah.
that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had like a lot of help building this team, so I'm very happy how it came out in the end. I think the one thing I absolutely adore about my team, and I think this is the first time I managed to achieve something like this, is like every single mon can be run offensively and defensively, besides like Swellow and Lycanroc. Midnight, like every single mon can be offensive and defensive. Like myself and Fatty, we had Mega Venusaur in the duo draft league, and we ran every single set you could think of except Swords Dance, which we could never fit in. But like we brought like a self-sunsetting normal Venusaur, which like blew past our opponents in the semifinal, and then in the quarterfinals, I thought of like a breaker Mega Venusaur, just made it very offensive, and like the opponents like Incineroar, which was supposed to be the switch in, just got two shot. It was like Spadef Incineroar, and it just got two shot on the switch, which was so fun, like really nice to see. And then obviously you know how great defensive Mega Venusaur is. Uramwash can nasty plot. It's also very good defensive. Same with Incineroar. Garchomp is also like Tank Chomp is really good as a set, like Rocks, Fire Blast, Earthquake, and Toxic, for example. Same with like Silvally. Kofag gets a nasty plot, and Hariyama can also be like a really good pivot. So yeah. Any final closing remarks? I think we're done, and I'm so happy we got like a good turnout in the end. Thank you guys for sticking by with me and helping
No
this
problem.
video. Yeah.
Looking forward to the league.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Same.
I hope we have an even better season than last time. I'm really excited about it this time, and especially Celesteal. I really wanted to use one for a while. So, anyways, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.
So yeah.
Bye.